learning to play the flute. So what I'm doing here is setting up a video log of me learning and to show you how I get along, and the aim is also to share some tips of how I find things, how I get over some of the issues that are faced when learning to play flute, and also hopefully to get some feedback. So the comment section will be left open, so feel free to put comments, say whatever you want, whatever you think. Love to hear from you if you're learning to play flute too, and we can perhaps share experience and tips and how we get over things. So first things first, what flute do I play? Well, this is a Yamaha YFL 211 student flute, and I've had this now for just over a year or so. I actually started playing about a year ago, and just after I retired actually. So this is this flute I use. Now I've made one or two little adaptations to it, and I'll show you what they are and then explain why. The first one, I hope you can see this, is known as a thumb port. That's the first one, and this is a little adaptation. It's made by a company called, it's called a Bo Peep, made in USA, and it's a little adaptation. Originally I think for children, but it fits there on the little finger, just on the so that the finger goes on the C, and this obviously there's a thumb here that goes on there. And what this means is that for this one, it's because I have quite small hands, and this means that by using that it brings my thumb slightly out and round, which means I can reach further with these fingers on my right hand without having to overstretch, and it just makes playing a little bit easier for me. This one is here because I'm damaged. Now a little while ago, about 10 months or so ago, just a freak accident whilst playing with my dog, this finger here on my left hand got bent right back, and it damaged the tendon here, which is taking a long time to heal. And the result is that whereas I can make a fist with that hand, I can't with that hand, and that is the most that I can bend this finger. So it just makes life a little bit easy, makes life a little bit difficult rather, because that's where the flute would normally sort of rest. So having this Bo Peep on here makes things a little bit easier for me, and basically means I don't have to bend that finger in quite so far, and it means that I find I can play for longer without it being so painful. So that's the basic equipment I use, a Yamaha YFL student flute with a thumb port and a Bo Peep adapter on there. Everything else is the same. It's a C flute, so the foot joint is a C foot joint, and it's a standard head joint, standard body. What other equipment do I use? Well, this is quite important, and this is a little flute stand. Stands on the floor, and the flute will stand on there. And again, it means that it's a safe place to put the flute if I'm fiddling around with music or a music stand, which brings me to the other thing I use, which is a music stand. So some basic tips to start with that I found with learning for a little while. Basically, I prefer to stand to play. Now I know if you're ever in an orchestra, which I don't foresee by the way, but you would tend to sit, but my preference is to stand. And then a piece of advice from that, if you're an absolute beginner, is if you're standing to play, remember to breathe. And as I understand it, a lot of learners from the beginning will stand to play and will blow, blow, blow and forget to breathe and actually can faint. So if you're standing, that's not the best plan. So I would say stand to play, but remember to breathe. The other bit of advice I'd give is to buy the best flute that you can afford. There's really no benefit in buying a cheap flute at all. Your sound won't be so good, things will go wrong more quickly. So I would say get the best flute that you can afford at the time. This flute cost me 18 months ago round about £400, or whatever that might be in dollars, I don't know. That's but about £400. And my final bit of advice would be to get a tutor as well as soon as you can, because your tutor, he or she will help you both with any technical issues that you have and also help you to read the music. I couldn't read music at all before I started to learn the flute. My tutor has taught me to read music and continues to teach me to read music and helps me with any technical issues that I might face. And my final bit of advice is whatever, play to enjoy. Always make sure that you're enjoying what you're playing, and go for it. I'd love to hear from you. Get in touch, let me know how you go.